Hi, I'm Alison Hume, a lecturer in human geography and a former TV and radio presenter. I first started exploring pound stores at least 8 years ago now as part of my academic work, partly because I found myself shopping in them quite a lot, and partly because I realised that the story of the products that are made in them is incredibly fascinating. However, I had no idea exactly where this story and where this journey would take me when I first started out, and I certainly had no idea that it would take me as far afield as China. Perhaps I had an inkling, but I had no idea what I would see when I got there. I had no idea, for example, that I would begin looking at dock workers' stories in places like Felixstowe in the UK. And other large ports abroad like Rotterdam and LA. I had no idea that I would go to China to massive showcase cities where the tactics of manufacturers are played out against the kind of voracious appetites of international wholesale buyers. I had no idea what I would see when I went to the dump towns and the actual municipal dumps as well, where raw materials are collected that are then sent to the factories in order to make these products. And I would have no idea of the kind of stories I would hear about people who managed to make a living out of these kind of cracks in the system. I also had no idea about how engaging the store owners themselves would be and determined to be independent, those that didn't work for large chains, and how the consumers themselves would have such relationships with some of these objects despite the fact they'd only paid £1 for them. So it was all a complete surprise to me, really, and this is probably why it occupied me for so many years. I also realised during this time that this was a story that absolutely had to be told. So many people shop in pound stores. It's such an important part of the high street now, especially in times of austerity, and yet people don't really realise what's going on under the surface and where their products really come from. So I put it into a book released last week called On the Commodity Trail, which is out on Bloomsbury Academic in hardback and paperback. But what I really want to do is also make it into a documentary, because I think the imagery along this journey is so strong that it really deserves a visual medium. And of course, the story can get out to even more people. It's such a part of the times we live in. It's so ubiquitous and it's so indicative of everything that needs challenging and changing with the way that globalisation is going. And it's ever more poignant now that we're in these times of austerity, and the necessity to continue consuming is drummed into us all the more. So I'm asking you to donate whatever you can, even just a small amount, to get this documentary off the ground. I already have producers interested, but what we really need is an excellent taster documentary to take to commissioning editors of TV channels. So have a look at the rewards page. There are signed copies of the book up for grabs, there are downloads of the film, or you can just donate the cost of your favourite pound store product. Everyone can get involved. Even a small amount can really help at this stage of the project, just to get it off the ground. What I really want to do is bring this frustrating, heartwarming, compelling, but above all else, unignorable story to the screens of the nation. And with your help, I can do that. Thank you.